Yeah, so today we are going to start with our project Rock, Paper and Scissors. About the project. So it is a game of rock, paper and scissors where the user can play the game with the computer along with the display of their respective scores. So basically in our project, we are going to create a game of rock, paper and scissors where the user can select any one of the choices from rock, either from rock, paper and scissors, along with the computer choosing its own choice, and then the person then either of the user or the computer can win the game based on the number of times he won the round. Tools and technologies used. So for our project, we are going to use React.js, CSS, useState hook, useEffect hook, math functions like math.floor and math.random. So React.js is basically like a library of JavaScript, and we are going to use React.js whole as a whole for developing this whole application, along with CSS for designing part, and we are going to use hooks for our project, and primarily we will be using two hooks, useState and useEffect hook. Along with that, we are going to use math functions like math.floor and math.random. React.js. So React.js is an open source JavaScript library that is used for building in user interfaces specifically for single page applications. It's used for handling the view layer for web and mobile apps. React also allows us to create reusable UI components. So React.js is just an open source JavaScript library, and we can use it to develop this whole project. And we will be creating components like main. It is, since it is component based, so we'll be going to create a number of components like the main component where the full functionality will be there, and along with the header component, footer component, etc. CSS. Now CSS is cascading style sheets. CSS is a style sheet language used to describe the presentation of a document written in HTML or XML subheading. CSS describes how elements should be rendered on screen, on paper, in speech, or in other media. So yeah, CSS is basically a designing tool, and we are going to design our whole application using CSS. Now useState hook. A useState hook is a hook that allows you to have state variables in functional components. React has two types of components. One is class component, which are ES6 classes that extend from React, and the other is functional components. So yeah, useState hook is basically a hook that allows us to have state variables. Like variables can have different states, where initially it can have a value of null, and after a particular functionality the value of that variable could be changed to any other value. So basically these are state variables, and useState is used to change the state of a function, change the state of a variable. Along with that, before the current update, in the ES6 component of the class, there had been class components basically, and after this the React has also introduced a new functional, and after that React has also in the and after that in the new update, React has introduced functional component also, which included both useState and useEffect hooks. So the things that we can do using class components can be done much easier, in a much easier way than using useState hook. Now useEffect hook. When we want to perform something after each render of component, then we can use the useEffect hook. By using this hook, we can tell React that our component needs to do something after render by passing a function. By default, useEffect hook runs after the first render and after every update. So useEffect hook is basically something that we want to perform after each render of the component or any page. And useEffect hook contains, basically is like a function that runs after any component gets rendered, or even if there is if we pass useEffect hook, it will at least render once, because useEffect hook has a dependency array, and if we provide no values inside that array, then the useEffect hook will render the whole web page once at the time of the first rendering of the page. Other than that, we can also provide some values inside, or some variables inside the use effect hooks dependency array, so that whenever the value of those variables changes, only then the use effect hook will basically render the whole page along with running that functionality that it has. And then the last thing is math functions, and in our project we'll be using basically two functions of math. They are math.floor and math.random. So math.floor function returns the largest integer less than or equal to a given number, and the math.random function returns a random floating point number in range 0 to less than 1. So basically we will be using these math functions for generating a random choice for the computer, because for the user, the user itself is going to select a random choice out of the 3 rock paper and scissors, but for getting a random choice for the computer, we will be using these two functions together in a function. So yeah, and one more thing is that math.random function, since it returns only a floating point number in between the range 0 to 1, we can also scale it by multiplying it with some other numbers, so that we can get our desired random value. So yeah, so now we are going to start with the creation of our project rock paper scissors. So for that, first of all, we need to open our terminal with Control Shift backticks, and then we will have to create a React app. And for the creation of React app, we need to write the commands npx create React app and the name of the app. So for my app, the name will be rock paper scissors. So I'll write rock paper scissors, scissors, okay, and then I'll press enter. So after writing this command, it will start creating the React app. It will take some time. Yeah, see, you can see that it is downloading or installing the packages and all, so it will take some time for for creating this React app. Yeah, okay, now so the React application has been created, and now we just need to browse into our folder where we have created the account. Oh, sorry, where we have created this project. So for that, let's open the folder. Ishan and rock paper scissors. Yeah, just select this folder, and now we are into our project. So before starting with the project, first of all, we need to run this React app, and for that we will be writing the command npm start. So let's first open the terminal and then write npm start. So when we will write npm start, it will run this React script starts command, and actually when we go into package.json file, whenever we go into the package.json file, we can find inside this scripts part, there is start variable which just a second, yeah, which gets inside which React script starts is written. So whenever we will write npm start, it will run this React script start command, and that command basically will run this React application. So yeah, I think the application has been created. So yeah, this is the React application, the default React application. So now what we are going to do is we need to do a couple of changes. So first of all, we will delete this logo.svg along with index.css, app.test.js, and report web vitals. These 4 files we are going to delete. So yeah, we have deleted these 4 files, and now we will go into the app.js file and remove this logo from this app.js file, and we'll also delete this entire part, and for now just write hello world, and I'll save this. And now in the index.js file, I'll remove this report web vitals, and along with index.css, and I will also remove this report web vitals function call. And now when I'll save this, after going to our browser, we can see hello world. So these things are this will be the basic. Now the our React application is ready for further development part. Yeah, and now we also need to do a couple of changes in app.css file. We'll remove all of this part, and we will write star, inside which we will put margin to be 0 and padding to also be 0. Now when we save this, the extra margin and padding will be removed and our hello world will be like pushed to the left side of the screen. So now we can start our development part of the project. So yeah, after creation of the React app and doing the modifications, we are ready to go. And now first of all we will be creating components. Firstly, the header component. So let's go inside the app folder, and we will be creating a header component along with the footer component. So let's first create a header.js, and inside that we will have the heading. Let's put a class name of header, and inside this div we will write h1 rock paper scissors, and we will save this. But now we cannot see any changes in the web browser. That's because we haven't imported this component inside our app.js file. So for that we will import header from header. And now when we save this, we can use this here by the help of self-closing tag. And now the header component will be used, or you can say it will first run the header component and then it will show hello world. So let's see. Yeah, so now when we go to the web browser, we can see rock paper scissors along with hello world. So now similarly we will create another component with the name footer.js, inside which we will be providing the credits. And for that, let's put a class name of footer. Inside this div, let's put a h2 tag of like credits, so anything like Ishan, as it is my name. And now I'll again call this in the app.js file. Sorry, again I'll call this in the app.js file, import footer, whatever name we want we can put here, footer from footer. And now when we save this, that footer file has been imported in this app.js, and now we can use it anywhere inside this return statement we want. So if we put it footer here, then it will be shown below the hello world. You can see this. So these two were the components. Now we need to create the main component, or you can say the main body, or the main body that will have all the functionalities. So let's make a file of the name anything like main.js, and inside this file, first of all, what we need to do is currently let's just give it a class name of main, and inside this div let's provide an h1 tag and write this is the main body, this is the main body. And when we save this, along with importing this in the app.js file, import main from main, and now we will be using it instead of hello world, we'll put main here. And now when we save this, we'll see this is the main body along with everything. Now we want to align all these things in the center, so this can be done by just uh, having the div of class name app for the app.js component. We will just call that app component, and inside it we will do text align center. So everything inside that div, every text inside that div will have its text aligned at the center. So yeah. Okay, so now when we will go to the browser and we will refresh, one second, it is capital A, so I need to make it capital A now. Yeah, now when we will go to the web browser, we'll see the all the text inside that app component has been centered. So yeah, for now we can like just show this, and in the next video we will be diving into the main functionality of our rock paper scissors. Yeah, so now after creating the components, now we can go to the main.js and build the basic main body of our application. Okay, so now first of all, let's build the structure of our home page. For that, let's first remove this h1 tag and create a div of class name score. Inside that, h1 user points user score, and we will provide a data whatever with the score user score will be. But currently, since we haven't made the use states, or you can say different states of these user score and computer score, currently let's leave it blank, and the other one will be computer score. So when we save it, we can see user score and computer score. So first of all, let's create some states. So for that, we will be using useState hook. So we need to import useState hook in our project. Import from React. So now we can use useState. Now we need to have a couple of things in our project. First of all, we need to have user score along with computer score, along with user choice, whatever the user have chosen, and along with computer choice. Along with that, we will also be having a result that will display the result of final who won the game, and along with a turn result which will show for that round which one of the two user or computer have won that round. And the last one we will be having is game over. That will be basically for terminating the game and restarting the game. So let's first create our use states, user choice and set user choice is equal to use state, and initially let's keep all of them to be rock. Let's put initial value of the user choice to be rock. Const computer comp choice set comp choice is equal to use state rock. And now the next thing will be user score. So user score set user score
is equal to useState, and both the user score along with computer score will be initially 0, and computer score comp score set comp score is equal to useState 0. Okay, so we have assigned or created 4 different state variables, and other than that, we also need to have uh, a state variable for result, turn result, and game over. So let's create that also. Result and the result, since the result will be string initially, and inside this we can write let's check or let's see who wins the game. This will be the default value, whose value will be changed when the entire game gets completed. So other than that, we will have a turn result, or you can say round result, anything like that. Turn result set turn use state, and this will be set to null, and the last one will be game over. And this will be set to false, because when the game when we will need to make the game over, or you can say restart the game, for restarting the game or making the game to begin again, we will just change the state of this game over from false to true. So yeah, these were the these are all the state variables that we are going to use in our project. And since we have been we know about how useState works, so we are familiar with the working of the useState. So we will now just start writing the code, or you can say start building the structure of our web browser inside the result return statement. So first of all, I will since the user score will be given out after this dash, so we will put the value of user score, and here also computer score. Now when we save it, we will see the user score along with computer score will be initially show 0, which we will change, or which will get modified after further steps, or you can say when the game properly begins. Computer score, let's give a space between them. Yeah. So okay, now we are going to create a div for the choices, whatever choices that we will be showing for the in the web screen, whatever choice the user has chosen, or whatever choice the computer has chosen, for the game. Both of them will be shown in the web page, and for that we are creating this div. So let's create this div of class name user choices, or you can say just choice. And inside this div, we will create two divs, of one of the name user choice, and the other one will be computer choice. But for the user choice, we will first be importing the images of rock paper scissor. So firstly, we need 3 images, one of rock, one of paper, and one of scissor, and the user will choose either any one of them from the 3. So we have created a folder of name images inside the public folder, and inside the images we have the 3 images of paper, rock, and scissors. And when you look closely, you can see that the name of this image is exactly the name of whatever the state variable that I've chosen, like rock, paper, scissor. It will be like the straight string. So the name of these are also like that. So we can dynamically use them whatever the user has chosen, we can use that image dynamically. So how can we do that? Yeah, so we can for that we will be using image tag img, and we will provide it the class name of user hand, because that's the hand the user has chosen. And along with that we will be using yeah, so for the user's choice, okay, so for the user choice div, we will be putting using that image tag for that whatever the user has chosen, and for that we'll provide it with the class name of user hand, because that the choice that user has chosen. So let's give it a name of user hand. And other than that we will provide it with the name of not name, but we will be providing it as providing the source where we want to use the image, and it will be dynamic. So we will be using backticks, and inside that we will just specify the folder of images, and we will write like, just because I have to go outside this source folder, so I'll put 2 dots and 1 slash, and after that I'll write images and then slash and then dollar curly braces. This will provide the dynamic value of whatever the user has chosen. So I'll put here user choice and dot png. And when we say after this we will be using another thing. We will what we'll do is we'll provide it with the width of like I think 200 pixels will be fine, along with a height of like anything like 50 pixels, and we will close this. And when we save this, we will be able to see this, the rock, basically the photo of rock. This is because the default value of the user choice was rock initially, and like that only we will do for computer choice also. So let's create another div of the name computer choice, and inside that let's provide it with an image tag of class name computer hand, and then provide it with a source of the same thing, dot slash images and slash dollar sign, and in curly braces just here I'll put computer choice, and then I'll like put dot png, and then with the width, and then we'll provide it with a width of like 200 pixels and the height of 50 pixels, and we will close this. Now when we will look to our browser, we will see the photos of two rocks, and these will change respectively by whatever the user has chosen and whatever the choice the computer has generated for itself. So these will be dynamic values, and it will change with respect to user choice and computer choice. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to create is, okay, so outside this div we will create the buttons. So for that we will be creating a div of class name buttons, or button div, and then inside this div we will provide basically one more thing. Before doing that, we need to specify all the 3 choices. So we'll be creating like const choices, and it will basically be a list that will have rock, paper and scissors as the values. So I will be using these choices because in our project also we will be having 3 buttons for rock, paper and scissor for the user to choose, and so we will be like basically looping on to all the values of this variable, all the values of this list, and we can do that with the help of map function. So we will be doing it with the help of map function, and for that we will be writing choices dot map, and inside that we will be having 2 variables, one will be choice, and another one will be index, and this will be an arrow function, and since it is an arrow function, we will write here button, and provide it with a class name of button. This will be basically the buttons, and there will be a key which will have the value of index along with on-click function. Key will have the index value and an on-click function, and inside the on-click function we will be having a arrow function, basically like an arrow function, but inside the arrow function we will be providing it with a handle click, a function with the name handle click, and it will be having a parameter of choice. So yeah, after that we will basically close this button, and between these two buttons we will just give the value of choice. So now exactly let me explain what is going to happen. Handle click is not defined, so we need to first create a function of the name handle click. But before doing that, we need to first let me first tell you what is happening here. The choices, basically the choices list, it will the choices.map will basically traverse through all the elements of this list, and which will the values will be stored in choice variable one by one, and index will store the index value like 0 1 2 like that, and choice will have rock paper and scissors. And for the button, every button will have a class of the class name of button, because every button will have the same design, and key will be with the help of index 0 1 2. And for the on click function, we will create a function of handle click, inside of which we will be putting a parameter of choice, that and inside and between basically inside this button we will just show this choice, whatever the choice value was. So for the first button it will show rock, and second it will be paper, and the third it will be scissors. But when we click on any one of them, any one of the button, for that particular button, specifically for the handle click, that particular choice will be sent to that handle click function. So let's so that for that let's define this function, and for that const handle click. And now inside this handle click function we need to so inside this handle click function we need to do a couple of things. First of all, we need to find the value of the user, basically what the user has chosen, whatever the choice the user has chosen, and for that value what the user has chosen will be obtained in here, and like anything we can put value. And now we will write set user choice, and here we will put the value. So now what will happen, whatever the button the user will select, that for that value the user choice variable will be set to that value. And after that we will call a function of the name generate computer choice. CHOICE, and we will call this function. Okay, so for the next basically for doing this generate computer function, and the rest of the functionality we will cover it in the next video. So after writing the handle click function, we will write set user choice, and we will set the value of the value variable to the choice that the user has selected, and then we are going to call generate computer choice function. Now
First of all, we need to create a generate computer choice function. So let's create generate computer choice function. So for that, const generate computer choice, and it will be an arrow function. Yeah, so now we need to create a variable of the name random choice, const random, or you can say anything, any variable like random, and inside this variable we need to get the value of either of the rock paper scissors, any random value. That value will be for the computer, the choice of for the computer. So for that, first of all we need to write choices, and inside of this we are going to use math.floor, and inside of this we will be using math.random into choices dot length. Okay, so now after doing this, we need to set the value of computer choice to this random variable, random. Okay, yeah, so here basically what will happen is, first of all, what does math, this will be capital M, and first of all math.random function generates a value between 0 to 1, any value, any decimal value between 0 to 1, and this choices.length will be 3 because there are 3 choices, and when we multiply it with math.random, the value will be sorry, yeah. So now what will happen is, this math.random value will store, this will basically return a value from any value from 0 to 1, any decimal value from 0 to 1, and when we will multiply it with choices.length, basically this choices.length will be 3 because there are three values inside of this choices array, and then when we multiply it with math.random, the value that we will get will be greater than 3, sorry, the when we multiply math.random with 3, so we will be getting a value greater than 3, greater than 0 but less than 3. So now what we will do is, this math.floor value will basically get the floor value of this of the value that we are going to receive from this part. So if we get any value greater than 0, then then this math.floor will automatically make it to 0, and choices 0 will be nothing but rock, so random will be storing rock, and if it is greater than 1, then the math.floor value will be 1, and so the choices of 1 will be paper, so random will store paper, and when a value that is greater than 2 is going to get from this, then math.floor value will make it 2, and this choices of 2, which is nothing but scissors, will be put into this random variable. So, and one more thing, the value of this part will not be greater than 3 because math.random will not return any value that is greater than 1. So and there will not be any value that is greater than 2. So we will be getting rock paper and scissor, any 3 of these values in the random variable, and we are just going to set this computer choice to random variable. So from here we will be setting this computer choice to random. Yeah, and now for the next part, we are going to create a div of the class name result, and inside this div we are just going to create two heading, two h1 tags, inside of which we are going to write result, or you can say final result, or first write turn result, and this will be set to the value of this turn result variable. So we will write here turn result, and in the next heading h1 tag we will be writing final result, and inside of this we will be providing it with a value of result. So let's provide it a value of result. So now inside this div we will be getting the turn result value and the final result value. And now we will create another div of the class name restart or anything like restart div. And inside this div we will provide we will check for a condition. For that we will be writing if game over is true, and if game over yeah, and then we will have, yeah, okay, yeah. So now we will be having a button of class name anything like reset, and we will provide it with an on click function which will have a which will basically invoke a function of the name reset. And other than this reset we will have a text restart. Basically there will be a text of the name restart. So whenever the game over value is true, there will be a restart button with the name restart, and when we click it we will be basically invoking a reset method. So now let's or you can say let's write the reset method. Yeah, so for the yeah, so let's define the reset function. Const reset is equal to and inside of this we will just use window dot location dot reload. Okay, so after this basically this reset function will basically whenever this reset button will be restart, or you can say restart button will be clicked, then for this reset function it will just reload this whole browser page. So all the values and every values and all the things will just get refreshed and it will reload. Okay, so now, okay, so now we are going to use use effect, and we will be using use effect because we need to re-render the page after the score of the user, after the user score and computer score changes. So basically the whole page will be rendered, and this can be achieved by using use effect. So for that we need to first import use effect from React, and that we can do is by just using use effect here, just writing it here. And now we are going to call basically use effect. So for that we will write use effect, and inside of this we'll provide a function. And inside of the use effect function, first of all we need to like create a variable of the name moves, and this moves will store basically the string the basically the string of the choices that the user has chosen along with the computer's choice. Basically it will be a string of concatenated values of user choice and computer choice. And for that we'll write user choice plus computer choice. Okay, yeah. So now we will be yeah, so now we need to check if the value of either of the user choice or computer choice is less than or equal to 9, because we want to end the game at 10 end the game at 10th score, because we need to let the game go till any of the user choice or computer choice value gets equal to 10. So in that case we need to end the game. So for that we will be writing an if statement, and inside of this we will be providing a user score is less than or equal to 9, and no, not and, or sorry, or comp score is equal to is less than equal to 9. So if this satisfies, then we will go inside another if statement, and now we are going to check if the user has won, or if the computer has won, or if there is a situation of draw. So for that we need to like check for the moves. If moves is equal to rock, scissors, or moves is equal to scissors, paper, or moves is equal to paper, rock. And sorry, we will be using triple equal to here because it is JavaScript, so we will be providing triple equal to. And if this condition satisfies, this means that the user has won won for that round, because here when we store when inside the moves we will be storing first the user choice and then the computer choice. So if the user choice was rock and the computer choice was scissors, then the user must have won, and same with scissors, paper, and paper, rock. So basically, since this will store the string and it will be stored in moves variable, and if moves is any one of these, then it is a case of winning. Basically the user has won. So for that, in case of that, we will like set, first of all we'll create a value of const user updated score is equal to user score plus 1. Basically we will increase the value of user score by 1 because that round user has won. And now we will be setting this value of user score to this new score, to user updated score. Okay, and along with this we will be also setting the turn result to winning. Basically the turn result will just tell us you won, anything like that, you won as you got user score, user choice, and computer got computer choice. Okay, so here basically this the turn result will store this value u1, and it will also tell as you got user choice will be basically the value that the user has chosen. So as you got rock and the computer got scissors, or as you got scissors and the computer got paper, as like that. So basically this will, the turn result will be set to this string. And for now we need to check for the condition where the computer has won, and for that we will be writing moves is equal to, when the moves is equal to paper scissors, paper scissors, or moves is equal to rock, paper, or moves is equal to here will be paper, and moves is equal to scissors, rock. So for this situation we will be creating a variable called computer updated score, comp updated score, and this will be equal to comp score plus 1.
and now we will just set this value of comp score to this comp updated score. So now the value of this computer score will be increased by 1. And now for set turn result, we will store the string you lost, and we can write again as you got user choice, and the computer got computer choice. Okay, and the last situation will be and now we need to check for the condition of draw, and for that we will just write moves if moves is equal to anything like rock, because then both of them got the same value. Moves is equal to paper, and moves is equal to scissors. So for that situation we will just give the set turn result to be nobody won as it was a draw. We can also provide what values that we had chosen, like as you got user choice and computer got comp choice. Yeah, one more thing. Here will in every statement I should be replacing this got to as you chose this, and the computer chose, because we are not getting a value, we are like choosing a value. So let's replace all the gots with chose. Okay, now one more thing we need to do is we need to end the game if the user the value of user has gotten to a point where it was equal to 9, or then that in that case we will need to end the game along with the same situation over the computer, even when the computer got a value that is equal to 9 or equal to, or basically equal to 10 basically. So for that situation we will end the game, and for that we need to set one more condition, that will be if user score is equal to 10. So in that case we need to set result to you won the game, and along with that we need to set basically we need to set the game over to from false to true. Now let me explain what is happening actually. So actually what is happening is when the user score becomes equal to 10, then in that case the user has won the game, and then we will set the result value to be
you won the game. So this will be the final result, and this result value will now store this string, you won the game. And we will set the game over value to be variable to be true. So whenever in the bottom, if the value of game over is true, then we will be having a restart button, a button of the name restart, which when we click, then this reset function will be called, and this reset function will basically just reload the whole browser. It will just reload the whole application. So then the game can be played again, like basically it will be a new game. So we need to do the same for all for this computer basically, yeah. So we need to do the same for this computer part also, because if the computer score gets equal to 10, then also the game will be over, and in that case we will set the result to be computer won the game. And we will set the game over to be true again, because the game then also the if even if the computer wins, then also the game cannot be played again. It will basically end, and we need to go for the second game. Yeah, so for that we need to provide a dependency array, and we will just provide a dependency array, and inside of this we will write user choice along with computer choice. So now what will happen is, basically whenever the whole web page is basically, yeah. So now the thing that is happening is, whenever the value of this user score, whenever any of this if statement gets satisfied, like if the user has won, so the value of this user score will be incremented by 1, and because of this useState hook, this whole web page will be re-rendered. And in the next and since it will be re-rendered, then inside then the useEffect hook will also be called, because it basically is called every time the web browser gets rendered. So this useEffect method will also be called, and since the value of the user choice and computer choice hasn't been changed, so this condition will again get satisfied, and the value of the user score will also get incremented again, and this will again make the value of user score to change. So then it will like just render the whole web browser, and this useEffect will again be called, and this thing will go on happening, like it will just get into an infinite loop. So because we have provided a dependency array of user choice and computer choice, now whenever the value of this user choice or computer choice changes, then it will just render that web browser, then render for that computer choice and user choice. It will not render the whole web browser. It will just do it for user choice and computer choice. So now when we save this in our let me refresh this now. Okay, so now when we select any value, you can see the value of this user score has increased, and I have won as I chose paper and the computer chose rock. So you can see even the images is also showing of paper and rock, and the user score is also incremented along with no change in the computer score value. We can try out a few more times. Like this will the problem of infinite loop will not be a problem anymore. So yeah, the next part of this project will be the designing part, and we will go into that in the next video.
Yeah, so now our basic functionality along with the designing along with the layout of our application has been completed. So now let's focus on the designing part. So first of all, let's provide a background color of brown, and when we save this, we can see this whole application has a background color of brown now. And then let's lighten the background color a bit. I think this much will be fine. And when we save this, we'll see uh, the background color has turned a bit lighter. Okay, so now let's give the header a font family. No, not font family, a font size of maybe 40 pixels. And because this has a header division has a class name of the name header, so we are using dot header here, and inside that we are providing the font size with 40 pixels. And when we see this, we can find the font size has increased considerable amount up to 40 pixels. Now when we can even change the font style from normal to italics, and when we do that, we can see the header has changed to italics. But we will provide a but we won't be requiring that. We will just change the font family to maybe trebuchet ms. And when we save this, we can find this rock paper scissors heading has a different font family than before. Now let's provide a margin bottom of like maybe 40 pixels. And when we save this, we'll see there is a 40 pixels margin between rock paper scissors and the user score along with the computer score. But let's increase this 40 pixels from 40 to 60 pixels, and yeah, now it looks better. Okay, so now we will focus on this user score along with the computer score, and for that we need to go to our main.js file, and we can find a division with the class name of score, and this is the exactly the div that we need to work upon. So now let's target this div dot score, and inside this let's provide it with a display of flex. Now when we save this, we'll find both user score and computer score are aligned on the same line. And now we need to provide some spacing between the user score along with computer score. So for that, we will basically provide it with a display, provide with the justify content of space around. And when we save this, we'll see user score and computer score both have spaces around themselves. And similarly, we'll do it for the two choices also. Basically these two choices which comes under the div choice. So let's target choice div also, choice, and inside this we'll also write display flex. Flex, and now we will provide a justify content of space around. Yeah, and after doing this, when we save this, we'll find both user score and computer score will have their respective choices just below them. But we need to also provide some margin between the user score and along with the choices that both of them will have. And for that, let's provide the choice with a margin top of 40 pixels. And when we save this, yeah, now there is a margin top of 40 pixels between these two divs. Let's change the font style, basically font family of the two, user score and computer score, also to anything else. Like let's go to the score and provide a font family of maybe Apple system Sego. And when we save this, yeah, now this looks good.
Now the next part will be okay. So for the buttons part, let's provide a button div, like button div. Target this div, and first of all, let's provide it with a display of flex along with justify content to be center, yeah. So basically all these three will be displayed in the flex manner, and all of them will be placed in the center of the screen along with padding, like padding of maybe 30 pixels. So now when we see, we won't be seeing any difference, but we will like target the button now. Basically now we will be, this was just for the div, but now we will be targeting the button. So yeah, let me check the name of that div is button only. Yeah, this is button. So now we are working on the button. So for that, first of all, let's put a maybe like background color of like chartreuse maybe, and like just lighten this up a little. Yeah, this much looks fine, along with font size to be like 10 pixels, and height of like 100 pixels, and width of 200 pixels. Let's see what does it look like. Yeah, this looks good, but it is like quite big. So let's decrease the size. Let's decrease the width by 100 and height by 50. Now let's see. Yeah, now this looks good, and let's increase the font size also. So for that, increase this font size to 40 pixels. I think no, this is too big, like 20 pixels maybe. Yeah, now this looks good. Along with, let's provide an animation like a hover effect for these buttons. So before doing that, we need to put a cursor to pointer, so that whenever we hover over the buttons, there is a pointer. Basically, the cursor gets turns into a pointer. And for the hover effect, we need to create another class button with hover effect. And now let's provide it a transition of like 2 seconds ease, and let's provide a background color of somewhat like, let's take cyan, and little bit lighter part. Yeah, this much is fine. And along with a transition of 2 seconds ease for the main class also. So whenever we hover over the button, the color will be, background color will change to cyan, and when we hover, when we just go outside the button, then again the color of the button will change to chartreuse, and it will take place, both of them will take place for a duration of 2 seconds, in a duration of 2 seconds. So let's see, when we hover over it, the color of them changes, and it looks quite good. This works also, the game, you can see, and the result and all also changes like that. This final result will only be visible when any one of the user score or computer score value gets equal to 10. Only in that case the final result value will show either if user has won or computer has won. So let's now work on the designing of these two parts. So for that, let's go on to our main function and like main component, and we need to target the result now, because the buttons part is done. Now we are going to the result. So let's target the result, and first of all let's provide a font family of maybe fancy. Let's see. No, this doesn't look good at all. Let's provide it some other font, like Arial maybe. Yeah, this looks good. So yeah, so let's provide some margin. Basically one more thing, these two does not look good, like both of them, there isn't any margin between these two text, basically these two uh, text. So for doing that, we need to create separate classes for both of them. So let's go into our main.js and provide this h1, or let's do one thing. Yeah, so for doing that, we can do one thing, like we can like create two different classes, one for turn result and one for final result. So let's do that only. Let's cut this out and create another div of class name final result, and inside this let's paste this h1 tag. Yeah, and let's make this turn result. Okay, so now we need to target this turn result and provide it a margin bottom of like 30 pixels maybe. So when we see when we save this, sorry, when we save this, yeah, now when we save this, we can see a margin bottom of 30 pixels. Let's do that for final result also. So final result, and provide it with a font family of Arial along with a margin bottom of 70 pixels just for the footer. So now when we will go, we can see the footer is like 70 pixels down of this final result. So let's increase this margin bottom length to 100 pixels. So it will be placed at the bottom part. Wait, yeah, I think this is 150 pixels. Yeah, now this looks fine, and I think in the designing part of this is not required, but we can still do one thing. We can provide, yeah, now I think the designing part of this looks fine, but we can still do one thing. We can provide it, we can just create two different two boxes. कुत्ता भौंक रहा है यार. Yeah, so for that we can do one thing. We can provide we can create a box of for both of them, just in case if we want to increase, yeah, like increase the appealing effect of our project. But without that also it looks fine, like there is not much problem with this style also. So yeah, I think the designing part is also done. Now let's check the demonstration of our like let's just check for the working part of our project. So um, whenever yeah, the computer score has increased, and it will basically whatever we choose, either we win or lose. So let's do this till we get a winner. Yeah. Now, since the computer score has reached 10, we can see a restart button here, but this does not look good. Because, and one more, there is one more error. This computer score should be 10 when we receive this, when we get this restart button. So let's modify that also and design the restart button also. Okay. So now let's design the reset button, basically restart button. And for the restart button, first of all, we need to go through the demonstration of our project, so that when the scores of any one of them gets equal to 0, the restart button pops up in the web browser. For that, let's just uh, play the game, and as soon as any yeah, as soon as the user score gets 10, gets equal to 10, the restart button pops up. Now let's design this restart button, and the restart button, let's make this restart button same as this these three. Just change, let's just change the color and the hover effect of that button. So for doing that, we need to target the reset class name of this button, and let's go to the app.css file, and yeah, so now let's do the same for the reset button also. Basically the restart button, and for the restart button, we'll have the same dimensions and everything of the buttons, everything same for the buttons, but we'll change the background color for the restart button. And we can do that by first of all, we will go in our main component, and we'll check for the class of this button, that is reset. And when we'll go create this reset button, we will just copy and paste every thing that was inside this button component, sorry, this button, uh, and we will paste it here. But we need we want to change the background color of it, of this button. So let's change it to I think this is good. And we will also add a hover effect for this button also, and we will again copy paste the hover effect for the other buttons and paste it here. Just and we'll just change the background color of this button to like light pink. I think this will look good. And okay, yeah, now when we go to our project, when we check for the game, when the score hits 10, then we'll be able to see a restart button, which when we hover on, will automatically turn purple. But we can see there is a margin between this restart button and this div, basically this final result. So let's decrease this margin, and give this margin just below this restart button. So for that, we will remove this margin bottom from 150 pixels to 50 pixels, and give a margin bottom of 150 pixels, or maybe 120 pixels for this reset button. So now we can see this credits has gone down, but it is going down a lot. So let's decrease this value from 120 to maybe 80. And now when we go there, we can see it goes up, but still it is this margin is greater, it's not It's not like this scroll bar comes up and it's not looking good. So for that, let's decrease this margin from 80 pixels to 40 pixels. I think this much will look fine. Yeah, now we can see the credits button, credits in the same page in the bottom part, and the restart button also has a hover effect along with all these other buttons. Now there is one more problem. When we want one more thing, that whenever this restart button pops, we do not need to continue the game. Like if we still play the game, the values of the computer score will keep on increasing still. But and this is not what we want. We want to end the game when this when any one of the two user or computer score gets equal to 10 or gets a score of 10. So that can be done by going in the basically handle click button, and we'll provide. Okay, now for that we can do like disabled equal to, and we will give it a value of game over. So whenever the game over value gets true, the disabled will apply, and all these buttons will get automatically get disabled. So when we go to our project, and when we, first of all, let's save this. Yeah, and now when we play the game, as soon as the score reaches 10, these buttons will get disabled and we won't be able to click them. The animations will still be there, but we won't be able to click and continue the game. And since I lost the game, it's saying you lost, and the final result is also that the computer won the game. So now the only option for us is to restart the game, and when we restart this game, automatically this whole page will render, and both the user score along with the computer score value will start from 0 again, so we can play the game again. So yeah, I think all the functionality along with the designing part is done. So yeah.